Bobby Moore and Sir Jeff Hurst, the Trevor Brooking and Billy Bonds, Paolo Di Canio, West Ham United. We celebrate our victories, we stick together in defeat. I'm proud of our history, West Ham United, more than just a podcast, more than just a podcast.
Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon. This is more than just a podcast. It is season 11, the last one of season 11. And I don't know, do you know what? I've lost count. Are we on 39 or are we on 40? I'm just checking, and the jury says 39 because last week was 38. It's episode 39. There you go.
We've done one more than games in the season.
That's right. That's right. Time for a break. I'm sure we all need a break, even our listeners, from our dulcet tones. With me, back in the virtual studio, is Georgie B.
Yeah,
How are you? What you doing?
I'm alright. I'm desperate for a break.
Yeah, you're desperate for a break. You're just exhausted. Doing
too much podcasting.
39 podcasts. How many of you attended of those?
I reckon I've done 15.
Okay, I'm going to check that. I will check it. It's a sad thing, but over the summer I will check that.
What am I doing? I'm recording a podcast with you.
Oh,
everybody.
love it. And his father is here. Both Booches. They're not the same person. They are in the same virtual studio. John, where are you? What you doing?
I'm in the virtual studio doing a podcast with yous two, 3 or 4. Who knows?
Who knows, indeed. And also, Canning Town Len, for the last time this season. How are you and what are yous doing?
Pretty damn good. I'm varnishing a painting of Julian Dix for Julian Dix. How about
Nice. A commission.
Just varnishing your
that's
dicks.
right, it is.
I put a bid in for your Billy Bonds,
And
but
you
I was
got
outbid.
did you?
Yeah, I only went up to 400. I see it's at 720, or is it above that now?
No, I think it's still 720 when I last looked.
Nice. Get in before.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll give you. Let you plug it later. Nigel's on his way. He works for a living now. I spoke to him, I don't know, about 6 o'clock in Kensington. He said, "Start without me, or join when I get home." That was my impression of.
That was really good, actually.
Thank
I reckon
you.
you could
It's
probably
uncanny,
do his
that
bits.
Yeah, I could. All right, not the.
You're nearly as good as doing impersonations as Nigel does with all his accents.
Yeah. True that. How did your talking of that? How did your little poll come out, John?
Oh, you got a little poll, Dad?
He did have a little poll.
How's your little poll?
How's your little poll?
He's ever so modest.
Dear.
Anyway.
It finished. It was good. It like 200, nearly 250 people.
And what was the result?
Did I see this poll?
I don't know.
Dunno, did you?
I tweeted
I
it.
think so.
Did you?
Yeah,
It was tweeted. Yeah.
I
I
tweeted
didn't
it.
see it.
I tweeted a poll. So yeah, it was about 248, 250 people, and 18% said we would finish where we would
And
finish.
this was all with an argument with Nigel.
Well, no, it wasn't an argument. We had a discussion during the podcast, and I said I reckon if we didn't have Europe and we'd made it 1 or 2 signings in January, we would have done better. And he said we would have been where we are and whatever. So
On the
that was the
17th of May, Johnny B said, in this week's More Than Just a Podcast, myself and Nigel, it should have been Nigel and myself, discuss whether we could better challenge for top 4 if we had signed a striker and defender in January and weren't in Europe this season. What do you think? 249 votes cast, 81.1% said would have challenged, 18.9% said nah, the same. There you go.
there you go.
I think we would have.
So do I.
There you go.
So, but you know, don't
No
pick
point
me up on my
in-
Twitter
hindsight
alliteration,
is
Sean.
a-
It's Twitter, yeah.
Wonderful thing. Look, I'm glad 249 people took the time to answer that poll, more than we've got listeners.
Yeah.
Or do we? Anyway, let's discuss the last game of the season. Brighton, the Seagulls. Not in Brighton.
Seagulls.
Seagulls! Do you know what? It is. It's my second time at the Amex Stadium, and it is full of seagulls.
There are a lot of seagulls in
There is
Brighton.
a lot of
It's funny,
seagulls.
that.
But it's not in Brighton, and it's not by the sea. It's in the
It's
middle.
in Falmer.
It's in the
Falmer.
middle of fucking nowhere. Right?
Did you see Rose?
Rose who?
Oh, I don't remember Rose.
Oh, yeah, we went, didn't we?
Oh, we parked in Rose's front garden.
Yeah, we did. Do you know what? I thought I couldn't remember who I went with last time to the Amex, but it was you, and we parked in Rose's garden.
We did.
Would you know what? And I told this to Nigel earlier. I parked in the official station car park. It is
15 quid one.
£15, £15, but it literally is really easy to get in right off the A27 out. I was from the final whistle. I was back home with a cup of tea. I don't drink tea. A cappuccino within an hour. 44 minutes from leaving the car park to getting home. Like a home game.
Lovely.
Anyway,
Well,
Remember
Sean,
that for a home game.
Sean, being that you've like ever so lucky again in getting tickets, why don't you tell us your opinion first for a change
All right,
about the
thank
game?
you.
Whetstones away day roundup.
Rambles. Yeah. No, it was a good day out. You know, me and my son. It was his third away game. Got lucky in the ballot. With 2 of 3,000 people. And it was a beautiful sunny day. Little bit of the sunscreen on, or factor 50. Nice little poodle down on the A23. And yeah, little Subway. Obviously low calorie, because I am 15.5 stone now. And
Jesus.
got a new bike, did 15 Ks today, but that's another story. So, it was a good party atmosphere, blow up penises and beach balls being thrown around. And I was of the impression 7th was enough for me. I know that I was a bit of a European snob and said, don't want European, the Conference League. But I sort of changed my mind, as I'm entitled to do. So I sort of set my mind in. The chances of us winning, because Brighton are good, they beat Man United, and Man United losing,
Oh, Man United are well good, aren't they?
is very slim, right? But then, of course, it changes his mind. So, true story. So we're in row M, etc., and we're right in the sun, right? So I decide to go for a drink, and literally, as me and Finley and I go for a drink, literally at the top of the steps, and missed the first goal. I mean, we were there at the top of the steps, but didn't actually see it go
So
in.
our goal, basically.
Our goal, yeah. Antonio. And everyone was sort of a little bit hesitant to celebrate it. They went, it looks like he fouled that player. It looks like they're checking it for VAR. But the goal stood. And then you hear Man United are losing against Palace, and you're thinking, well, possibly we can get 6th place, Don't get too carried away, don't get a screenshot of the league table and send it around to WhatsApp group. But, there is a chance. And Fabianski let us down, basically. No, that's not true. Fabianski should have done better on the 2 of the goals. I think he's showing his age a bit and why Areola needs to become number 1, but more of that later. I thought Brighton looked better. I thought we looked tired. I thought we looked like we were on the deck chairs already, and we were devoid of ideas. However, I think we should be. I'm still proud. I'm proud because we got to a semi-final. I'm proud because we finished 7th. The best Premier League back-to-back result we've got, 6th and a 7th. I'm proud because we get to play in Europe. I'm proud because we never got out of the top 10 the whole season. And I don't get this knee-jerk reaction that everybody had when we lost the game. Especially David Moyes. I think it's so out of character. I expect someone on Twitter or one of those guys over on Claret and Booze to break down like that, but I don't expect David Moyes to rubbish his players and say what he said post-match. So overall, I wasn't overly disappointed. I'd like to have done one over on Man United, but didn't. As for Mark Noble, I mean, his celebration was last week, so it was a bit understated. Just before kick-off, you may or not have seen this. Nice touch by Brighton. Tony Bloom, George Paris, and Bobby Zamora did a little presentation. It looked like a bottle or something and some frame, I don't know, maybe another shirt. And Mark Noble came over in front of us and we sung the Mark Noble song and he clapped us. He got another round of applause, obviously, when he came on the 81st minute. And he sort of came over to us, but, the players were a little bit, I don't know, they didn't get too close at the final whistle. And then, Noble came over, everybody hugged him, he waved goodbye, he blew a kiss, and that was it. It was all over. His 550th appearance. And I guess they had to get off the pitch because, Brighton had to do their lap of honour. So I was back in the car park. I booked the official car park, but it was 5 minutes away. 44 minutes later, I was home. Feet up. There you go. Bod's your uncle. There you go. That was my Sunday.
Sounds like you do well to go and support Brighton, Sean.
Yeah, no, too many Seagulls. Too many Seagulls. But no, look, I had a good day out, and it was. I was glad I was there.
Good.
We haven't heard from you for a while, Georgie. So I think we'll start with you.
Hello.
Is Brighton closer to where you are? Sort of Portsmouth way.
Not really. I mean, you drove us there last time we went, so...
I did. I did. We should mention Rose. Did we mention Rose?
I did mention... We've been recording for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
That's because we let Sean talk.
Well, yeah, your fault.
That was it.
Well, what more can I say, really? I completely agree. It was very, very disappointing performance from us. It wasn't the result as such. It was the performance that disappointed me. In fact, I said this morning, Sunday morning, a friend of mine said it would be great if you could do United and finish 6th. And I said, I actually think Palace will do it, but I think we'll let ourselves down at Brighton. And that's exactly what happened.
They were good, though, to be fair. They've been good for some time.
They can't score goals, and they scored 3 against us.
But they scored 4 against Man United as well.
Yeah, but that's Man United, like I said.
Right.
That's not a great feat anymore.
Yeah.
I thought Antonio's goal was brilliant. I didn't think it was a foul. I thought Lewis Dunk, 6'4" defender.
Just fell over.
Give as good as you get. And then we just kind of just went asleep, didn't we? Like you said, probably a little bit on the beach already, which is a shame because we still had stuff to play for. And the fact that United won does make it that little bit more disappointing because we could have got 6th. Lost. We could have got 6th, but
but at least Liverpool didn't get it. I mean, we were following that game, and we're following the, is it Burnley or Leeds? So there's a bit of excitement.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I'm not sitting here thinking, missed opportunity as such, and what a terrible end to the season. Obviously, we had a lot still within our grasp.
Let's win the Conference League.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we surely got.
And then that's a third season we'll be in Europe. Yeah, we have got a good chance, I think.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Johnny boy.
Hello.
Where did you watch it?
I watched it with George.
I did offer you to come, didn't I?
You did, yeah. But I went out on this. What happened to you Saturday night?
You didn't offer me.
Yeah, well, I'm off the drink at the moment. I'm on antibiotics as I've got a abscess on my tooth. So I don't think it'll be very much fun drinking Cokes all night. But yeah, I'm trying to save the tooth. The dentist's trying to save the tooth with a bit of antibiotics at the moment.
Well, tough times.
I'd have come to Brighton. Didn't offer me.
Oh, sorry, George.
No,
I forget to offer you, but
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Assuming I'd got
Easily
lucky
forgettable.
with a third ticket for the ballot, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I watched it with George. We settled down to try and enjoy the game, and I think let's start by saying, 2 back-to-back finishes in Europe, whatever level, is historic for our football club.
Yeah, well said, John.
You can't generally complain about the level and the progression of this team and this club has made in the last 2 years. But I'm going to have a go, and
Go on. Of course you will.
I just the actual performance, I just thought it was awful.
Yeah.
On Sunday, they're just so lackadaisical. They were just not with it, were they? And
No.
it was just What disappoints me is that we've had these opportunities, not just this season, the last couple of seasons, where we've had these big games, these like our cup final games, and we never seem to do it. We just never, when it really go to the world, when it really matters, we never seem to do it. And it's just so, hopefully
We did it a couple of times in Europe this year.
Yeah, right, you can say that.
I mean,
the quarter
Seville
final.
and
You know how
Lyon
many games?
Yeah,
Do
absolutely.
you know how many games we played?
51,
Someone told me 56.
was it?
That's what someone said. I didn't check whether that's true or not.
Nigel
Yeah.
would know.
Yeah.
But it's over 50 anyway.
No,
it's a
and
lot of games.
It's all going to take its toll. I mean, when you've got basically, he's got 12 or 13 players he relies on, isn't it, in our squad? And you can't keep making them go again and again and again and expect to get results all the time. So, we've done fantastically well, but just on its own, in the context of Man United losing, us having the opportunity to sort of push them into 7th, and for us
that was a gutting for me.
And
it wasn't so much of doing that; it was just getting one over United.
Yeah, and for you to say like, well, they're really good, they're really well, they're a good, solid team, and we seem to have
their best ever season, best ever points, best.
Well, this ain't been our worst season either, is it?
No, true.
And really, when we took that lead, you would have liked to thought we could have seen it out.
Yeah.
But that aside, an incredible season all round.
Quite positive view. I'm going to bring up some Moyes post-match comments, and then we'll go over to Len. We're going to be a team at the bottom of the league if we keep on losing goals like we have in the last couple of games. I'm going to have a break, as there's no way I can keep going at this rate we've had this year. Overall, if today was anything to go by, we have to do a lot more than I first thought. It doesn't feel like I've done a good job this season at the moment, because I wanted better. And the final one, and maybe I've taken these out of order, I can only think of my last game, and maybe in a few weeks I'll change my thoughts. But at the moment, I'm angry with the players today because I'm not going to have the way they perform today. Quite negative comments.
Well,
Georgie.
it's just. Go on,
He's
George.
tired.
Yeah, it sounds like he's had enough.
tired. But it's what I expect off Twitter. I expected better off David Moyes.
I don't mind it because he's clearly pissed off and he's just speaking how he feels rather than putting his media-trained manager spiel.
Yeah. That was probably the first time I felt disappointed with the team in quite a while. When you think about it, I was a little very disappointed with how we just didn't seem to want it. And to be honest, I don't know what you fellas think, but I think of late we have been fading. I think Jared Bowen's goals have papered over the cracks, that we don't seem to be getting the ball into the box like we used to, like we did early in the season and last season. And I think it's showing a little bit, and I think that's what's getting to Moyes.
But I saw stats how we've won one in the last 8 games, and that tells you, we've lost 12 games since January or something. So, that's before that we lost 1 in 17. I think it was what I read.
Good stats.
Yeah, well, let me give you another stat attack, before we hear from Len. Actually, Brighton didn't really want possession. They seemed to be happy playing without possession. We had 51%, they had 49%, and they seemed to be wanting to go on the counter.
That's a dominating possession.
No, but they seem to not want the ball. You have it. You have it. There was a bit of that. No, you have it. Brighton had 18 shots, 7 on target. West Ham just had 7 shots, 2 on target. And corners 6-5, 6 to West Ham, 5 to Brighton. It really wasn't. I mean,
short corners as well.
The worst
what's that all about?
Again, it's not getting the ball in the box, isn't it?
What is it? We've got a success rate of set pieces, which we get told every time you watch a television match.
9 fouls apiece and only 1 card for each side, a yellow card for each side. I thought the ref lost the. He allowed too much to happen. You know, he wasn't stamping down, and there was a bit of niggling and.
Can't win.
And who was it? Who was the Brighton player that went 3-1 or 2-1 to the crowd and tried to wind us up?
Maupay.
There's no need for that. There's no need for that, is there? But anyway,
I'm sure we were given as good as you.
Len, anything to add? I know you're going last.
Nothing positive.
No.
To be honest, I'm just talking about the Brighton game, not the season. Yeah. There were some bad performances there for Nows.
Are you going to blame anything on Fabianski, like me, or not?
Well, I'm not necessarily going to blame him, but I would like to point out the last few performances he's had have all had a rick in it. It looks like a keeper that's aging, just slowing. Reactions a little bit slow, and I think that one, that first goal, I think it might have been a little bit of a deflection that caught him out. Although in recent times you've seen him save them, and he has. Although there's been a rick at every game, there's also been a good save every game. An essential save. I don't like to point the finger because I think he's probably been our best goalie in the Premier League era.
Isn't it time for another number
agree.
one?
Yeah, probably.
He has signed a contract, by the way. He actually did it a couple of months ago. I know it hasn't been announced, but trust me, he signed a year extension. He's not going anywhere. And we move on. We know Yarmolenko's left. He said his goodbyes. Made his announcement yesterday. That's
you're gonna miss him, Len.
All his countrymen are dying. And you can just.
So it's just a fucking coincidence. Don't make him a better footballer.
I liked him. He scored those goals against Everton.
After the war, you liked him. Before then,
no. I've always liked Yarmolenko. I'm a lover, a Yarmolenko lover. I think Fredericks. I have not heard anything with Fredericks being offered a new deal. I think he's off.
I read something he's going back to Fulham.
It could be.
Yeah, I heard that.
It'd be a bad move for him.
I hear. I mean, the little rumours that, and nothing, senior source-ish, but that Masuaku could join him at Fulham.
What, Fulham?
Yeah. David Martin's obviously off unless he stays as a coach. His contract's up. Obviously, Noble's left. Goes without saying.
Has he?
Yeah. Kroll, they haven't spoke about Alex Kroll, but I don't think they're going to offer him a contract. I mean,
we sure he didn't. We didn't have an obligation to buy.
We had an obligation to buy if he played a certain number of games. He got nowhere near that, John. Nowhere near that. But it wasn't like whether it was 14 games or 12 or whatever. He got nowhere near that. It wasn't like they were holding him back just in case he hits the performance thing to buy him.
Right. Well, who did we play in a cup where they embarrassed us at Kidderminster?
Yeah, but Crow,
he was awful.
It didn't work
at that
out.
level.
Obviously Ben Johnson staying because he's got a 2-year option. Ogbonna has to prove his fitness by June to be offered a new contract, but he will be offered a new contract as long as he can prove he's fit for the season.
It's a bit harsh, isn't it?
Well, it's not harsh, is it? His contract's up, and he's had a really severe injury.
How old is he?
33, something like that, isn't he? Do you know what? I don't know.
That just sounds about right.
I don't think he was a young man anymore. Well, yeah,
he is 34 actually, just turned.
Oh no, get rid of him.
Today's his birthday actually.
Oh,
he
happy birthday, Angelo.
He was 33 yesterday. He's 34 today. Happy birthday, Ogbonna.
Season took a nosedive when he got injured, to be honest.
It did.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So, hopefully he'll be back. Declan's not going anywhere. Don't listen to what Canning Town Len says.
Going.
He ain't going anywhere. He ain't
Man
going
City
anywhere.
or Real Madrid?
Chelsea
Man United.
Going. Hang your
Chelsea
coat on it.
won't go to Man United. He wants Champions League. He
Well,
won't
he
go
won't,
to Chelsea.
won't be staying there, will he?
Man City, I don't see him fitting in Man City.
What,
Someone's
like
got
instead
to
of
be- It ain't
Fernandinho?
gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. Not this season.
But it does.
He wants to be gentleman's agreement. He wants.
Yeah.
I tell you,
right.
right? Let's have a little charity bet, right?
All right. Nothing too steep.
Yeah, right. Well, you name it. You
man.
name it then.
Thank you, man.
20 quid.
No, we'd have a think about it.
All right, have a think about it.
Yeah.
That's no fun, is it?
No, it's not.
Well,
really
no,
friendly.
we could come up with something better.
All right, by the end of the podcast.
Well,
we'll have a
I once had a
Oh
bet.
no, we can think about it while we're doing a podcast.
Oh, go on, John.
Something
Let-
might come up.
I once had a bet that Andy Carroll wouldn't stay with us long.
Yeah.
Back in
What
the
a
day.
bet that was. What a bet
I
that was.
said, there's no way, he's on loan, there's no way we'll sign him. So I agreed as a bet that if we signed him, I would go to football dressed as Andy Carroll.
That was a good one.
And I ended up going to football dressed as Andy Carroll. So let's about something down them lines.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, yeah.
I mean, obviously, we need to sign people. With that, losing that amount of people, my understanding is, apart from Fabianski signing, and us interested in Watkins and whoever. I said, who was the guy? I said from
Ings.
Chelsea. No, from Chelsea. That's on loan to
Broja.
Broja. We're doing the old. We haven't got long. I mean, the players have only got 4 weeks off because we're starting the season. Is it the 6th of August?
Don't tell me and our 9 listeners that there doesn't seem to be much of a plan going on.
We gained a listener, haven't
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. And
I think they've got to be back by the 1st of July. Isn't it 6th of August? The Premier League starts, and I think our first game is like on Europe is like 18th of August. So
if we seriously don't sign,
we've got to hit the ground running. I agree with you, John. I'm not going to defend them.
Timely manner, then the role of that Rob Newman needs to be looked at.
Yeah, it does.
What is the point?
But is it going to be his fault? For all we know, he could have been
Look, I don't
given
know.
player after player recommendation.
I know, right? I know about Areola. Areola is the number one choice they want to sign. We, West Ham, are paying a fraction of what PSG paying him. Look, it's very well reported he's on about 125 at PSG. We're paying a fraction of that. His wages would go up many hundreds of % if we offer him anything like PSG. It's not the money, it's the wages. What is a goalkeeper worth in the Premier League? I don't know. I don't know what other goalkeepers earn. But I know there are people in the club that would like Pope from Burnley. But apparently the manager's got his hopes set on Areola, and they're trying to do a deal.
No hope of Pope.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, look, if they can't reach a deal, and it's about wages, mostly personal terms.
What's the fee? Is there a fee?
There is a fee, yeah.
7 million, I heard.
Somewhere around that. It's under 10.
What a bargain that is.
It is
Well,
a bargain.
not when you include the wages.
When the wages are quite high. I mean,
He's
whether
good. I'm not being funny, right?
Yeah.
You've got to be looking at 75 to 100 grand for a
Okay, if that's what you say,
world-class goalkeeper, which I think
earn.
he could become.
Yeah. I mean, he's a good goalkeeper. I wouldn't mind him, but which should I'm going to ask each of you, Pope or Areola?
I'm going to go Pope.
Yeah.
After all that.
John.
Well, yeah. If someone sits you down in front and gives you the choice,
Len, save us.
No, I'm going Pope. I wouldn't turn my nose up at Areola either.
no, absolutely.
Well, I'm going to go Areola. I think we'll come. I think he wants to play. He wants to be our number one. We promise him that, and we may not pay him 125, but we pay him a decent wage, which is comparable with the market.
75 grand a week and two grand clean sheet bonus.
Yeah, or an appearance bonus and stuff like that. I make you right, George. Lingard, look,
Look, if he was signing, he'd be signed now, wouldn't he?
Lingard wants to...
him.
Look, I'm told Lingard wants
care.
too much money. You know, Lingard wants around about 10 million signing on fee, and he wants over 100 grand a week. And the club and Moyes, I don't think that's realistic. I mean, where else is he going to go? I'm not sure Newcastle want to offer that, and I'm not sure he wants to go to Newcastle. But he's got to be realistic, you know. If he wants to come back to us, and he's got to negotiate with us, and not the other way around. I understand it's not always easy to deal with his representatives. I'm not going to go further than that, but you know, as you say, if he really wanted to come, the deal would be done before, you know. But my understanding is no. And finally, Tarkowski. I know John told me that he looks like he's going to Villa. My understanding is Moyes doesn't fancy him anymore. He wants a left-sided centre-back.
You can't really buy a relegated centre-back and goalkeeper, can we?
Probably not. Probably not. So I don't... Good luck to Villa if they do buy him, but I don't think he's on our list anymore. My understanding is, I heard a little whisper in my ear, but they see Ben Johnson as a long-term centre-back. That's where his destiny lies. Don't know if you'd agree with that, but that's what I've been told by someone in the know.
He's related to Ledley King, isn't he?
Yeah, and funny enough, it was Ledley King who said that.
There you go.
There you go. How did you know that?
I didn't, but I just knew he was Ledley King's cousin.
Yeah, it was Ledley
or
King
something.
who said that he sees him as a centre-back. And Ledley King was a centre-back, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, the season's done. I don't know I don't know any other transfer news because there is no other transfer news. I wish there was. I wish I knew something. I know there's a lot of reports. I can't confirm any of them because I've only told you what I know. We've got a lot of money. You know, we rich list. Daniel Kredinsky came out at number 56. Apparently living in the UK now at 3 billion. I think that's an underestimate. David Sullivan went up 78 million to 1.2 billion. You know, gold through his valuation of West Ham, through the valuation of his property in Ann Summers.
David Sullivan's net worth went up.
Yeah, went up.
78 million to 1.2 billion.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Even during, I mean, remember, most of his money comes from commercial property. Well, commercial property prices slumped and people stopped paying landlords money and tried to renegotiate. So he's done quite well.
Well, just a bit.
According to the Sunday Times, might not be true. David Gold is said is not in the rich list, said to be worth 500 million. Then you look at the others. You know, Trip Smith is thought to be worth at least 300 million, maybe 400 million. I know they always say he's a US billionaire, but Forbes disagrees. And then when you take the Harris family and Terry Brown, you add another probably 100 million between them. Anyway, you add all that up, and it's a very conservative 6 billion. Now
we've got very wealthy ownership, is what you're saying.
We've got very wealthy ownership between them. And actually, you know, behind obviously
Which
Newcastle
means nothing,
at the
does
top,
it?
it doesn't mean anything. Newcastle, Man City, Villa have got a lot, but actually we've got a lot more than Spurs.
But Newcastle can't actually spend a lot this summer, can they?
Well, I'm really glad you said it because actually there's a new financial fair play coming in. So the financial fair play for people who play in Europe, like us, is it comes in that you're only allowed to spend 90% of your turnover next year. Next year, the following year, it's 80%, and the year after that, it's 70%. So, interesting. From the Premier League, because we finished 7th, I've calculated with the rebate, we have earned 125 million. We had to give about 11 million back. We should have earned about 136, but we had to there's a rebate because of the pandemic. So 125 million. We've had a record year for ticket sales because we had those extra 7 games at home because of Europe, and we did well in the Caribou Cup. You know, Sponsorship has been strong because of that, and so has retail. So the turnover this year,
Forgetting
this
Kurt
season,
Zuma then.
should be about 200. No, it made no difference commercially
Didn't it?
wise. It really didn't, right? They have to pay. They cut their things, not the other way around. Is about 226 million, right? So we've got 90% of that. What's that work out? 205 million to spend, and it's 3 categories. Wages, currently 130, but obviously it will go up when we offer people like Declan Rice 200 grand a week for 8 years.
Only if he signs
82
it.
million. Yeah, he will. Agent fees and transfers.
You believe that, Len?
No.
No, he doesn't. But that's why we're going to have a bet. So,
No, we're not, because look.
Oh, here we go.
We can't have a bet because the odds are stacked against me.
Oh, right. Well, do you want to have
because
odds
we
then?
might,
Well, no, you're
some of them
so
might not
sure
sell
he's
him.
leaving. No,
I'm sure he's leaving.
Oh, but then,
Well, I'm
how
not
do you-
so sure he's leaving, but I think he'll leave. I'm entitled to my
Look,
stupid opinion.
Right, so you either are committed that he's leaving.
No,
or
but
you're not.
yours has got one variable. Nothing happens.
Yeah.
And mine's got loads of variables. With one, his father engineers the move. 2, Sullivan agrees it.
Yeah.
3, it goes through. 4, we get a replacement. You can't.
He ain't leaving. Anyway.
All right. I think you might.
Look, we've got, I'm told, available 100 million to spend. We earned 38 million pound from Europa. We've got 100 million to spend on, plus another 50 from Grudinski in a loan, 150 million. Whether we can spend all that, whether David Moyes will do it, I don't know. And with that, I'll finish the news section. Nigel was appeared.
Hello, Nigel.
Hello.
How was the journey back?
Yeah, saw the
Brighton.
Queen.
Huh?
Brighton.
No, Kensington, wasn't it?
Well, it started at Hammersmith, but yeah, I spoke to her. I was at Kensington. I saw the Queen.
Oh, did
Nice
you?
of them to stop the traffic for her.
Really?
But I don't mind stopping for her.
Nah.
So it's been a while since I've seen her. I think it was Andrew and Fergie's wedding the last time.
Yeah.
So
Good day out for you.
Anyway, we've done our reviews. We have done the news section, so I'm sure you're ready for this.
Dodds' away day roundup.
Now, he called me on the way home and said, Nigel won't forget it. He'll be all ready for it. So you must have it
Just
ready.
literally sat down. So why do you think I'm going to be bloody ready for it?
Anyway, read the website.
No, I've not put it on there yet.
Go to the website. It's on the website.
Oh, it's not on the website.
No, I've been that busy.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Oh, Dodsey, last game of the season. Sorry, Dodsey. That's the way it goes. Anything you want to say about the game or any news?
Crack game.
Oh,
To be
God.
honest, it was a bit of a crack game. Moyes, I thought, when a draw is the same result as losing in what you're trying to achieve, I don't get waiting till you go 2-1 down and 81 minutes before you make your changes. Because they scored early doors. It obviously weren't working what we were doing in the second half. And if we'd have lost the game, or if we'd have drawn the game, if it had stayed at 1-1, the end result was we still finished 7th. Where if you took a gamble a bit earlier, who knows what might have happened.
Were you disappointed?
Well, it's always disappointing to lose the last game of the season. And if we'd have swapped the games round, if we'd have just played Man City and got a 2-2 draw against them, we'd have all been happy as Larry. But we didn't, did we? We've been beat 3-1 by Brighton.
Mm.
And I know
and Man
we did.
United lost, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I say, right, there's a reason that Brighton have a good record against us. Every time we play them, they are the better team. They do play well against us, don't they?
Mm. They do.
Yeah, they
They're
do,
a
yeah.
bogey team. Yeah,
But they play well.
they do.
It's not
They
like,
do.
I
Yeah,
mean, Everton were a bogey team, and sometimes we piss all over and we manage to lose.
Mm.
But we don't seem to get that with Brighton.
Yeah.
But,
Anyway, as
Yeah.
Nigel's here, it's time for this.
yay.
No, hold up.
Hang on, we put a question on it yet.
Hold up.
Oh yeah.
at
You're
least.
bullying Nigel.
Time.
Nigel, you're getting bullied.
Hello, Nigel. What, you haven't put a question up, mate?
No.
Oh, no. Well, I'll tell you what. Put a question up quickly while Len does his infomercial.
What about Dodsey's way day round?
I've just played it and you said you didn't have it.
No, I didn't say I didn't have it. I said I weren't fucking ready. I literally
all
just
right.
sat down and you slapped on the bleeding tune.
Yeah. I won't even ask you why you went to an air show on the day of the last game of the season, Nigel.
I didn't go to an air show.
Yes, you did.
No, I never.
Your wife said, I'm here with Nigel Khan and
Well, that's
her
a bit
dad."
hard because she weren't there and it weren't an air show. Read it again, you'll see where I was.
Upminster.
Yeah, which is round the corner to where I live and it's an airfield. And they got a calf.
And you were in a calf.
So I
It was
went
an
there
air show.
for an hour.
Facebook. It was an air show.
It weren't an air show. I was at an airfield.
You've been Facebook stalking Nigel.
Well, I just said to him, no, his wife. I said, what are you doing getting Nigel out on a match day? And it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, just before kick-off.
Well, what time did the game kick off?
4 o'clock.
Right.
But you were there with your binoculars twitching or whatever you air people do.
No, I was sitting there drinking a cup of tea, watching the planes take off.
Right.
You
Calm
should go,
down. Look,
Sean. You
your
should
blood
go to.
pressure's just getting up. Just because I'm only 15 stone and a half now, you've got to
Mate,
look
I
after
said
that's
you've
why I
got
went to
holidays
an
to
air
go.
show, innit? All that
got
looking up
holidays
is
to
good
go.
for his chins.
Yeah.
Good exercise for it. You should go, Sean. There's a it's all getting fluffy, this, isn't it?
Well, I tell you
What's
what.
your weight there, Sean?
I'm ready. I'm 15.7. So
15 and a half.
I'm ready for the seesaw test that John suggested. Which
Well, how you
seesaw
feeling, Nige?
Listen, when God was handing out bellies, he thought that God said tellies and said, "Can I have a 47-inch, please?"
Anyway,
He's been waiting to say that all day, hasn't he?
I know. It's time for this.
I could go on. Dodsey's away day roundup.
Take 2.
All right, my handsomes, how you's doing? It's Dodsey's away day roundup for the last time this season. I believe it's game 56 for Dodsey out of 56. Oh no,
There
out
you
of
go. I
57.
did say it was
Only
56.
Vienna. And
Yeah.
basically, he didn't go to Vienna because they wouldn't let him. They didn't let any West Ham
Oh yeah,
fans.
true.
So, round of applause for all the travelling support.
Well
So
done.
anyway,
All the
Dodsey
people that win ballots.
Says, gorgeous way to start the last game of the season. 22 degrees on the clock, even though I don't know what clock you got, Dodds, because normally my clocks tell the time. But anyway, on his clock it said 22 degrees. Early in the morning, as we made our way up towards Worthing and the obligatory £5.50 parking space on someone's drive.
Yeah,
he
Dodsley
said-
knows.
From there, we got a free train journey into Brighton, which I've only learnt about today. If you got a ticket for Brighton Football Club, you can have a free train travel, even
That's
though
right.
I
Wow.
don't think it works from London Bridge.
No, it doesn't.
No,
But
right.
it does work from
Local.
Lewis.
Yeah.
Lewis.
Yes. I
Lewis.
spoke to him after I spoke to you, funny enough.
Oh,
As always, a complaint, he says, to West Ham. Why don't they tell you when selling you the tickets that you can use your ticket for free train travel? Or would this involve West Ham doing something nice?
It does say it on the bloody ticket, though, Dodsley.
Yeah, but they don't always send the tickets out on time, Sean, do they?
No, they
So-
don't. But it did say free travel included on the ticket, printed on the ticket. So
Where from? Does it say
It's
where
good,
from?
isn't
though?
it?
I mean, could
It
Dodsey
doesn't,
get from
no.
Taunton?
it doesn't say that. It just says free travel included on this ticket. That's all
Oh,
it
right.
says.
Yeah. But that's how they do it in Germany. Germany, your football ticket is your train ticket as well.
Yeah, no, they're true. Yeah.
I know it's true. Thank you. He was listening to a Brighton fan on the train station who said that West Ham were the most venomous, horrible fans he'd ever had the pleasure of meeting at away day.
Wow.
My God, if he thinks we were bad this year against him, he should see some of the other stuff we did to teams. He said, mind you, I'm biased because he slagged them a block off. Ooh. Free train travel with cans of beers was welcomed when we made our way into Brighton, down to the Weatherspoons, with police escort in tow, the normal chanting and singing coming from the West Ham fans. It was definitely a more West Ham fans. I say West Ham because that's how he spelt it, like West Ham, which ain't
Come
far
on,
from Brighton.
Dodsey.
You know, there's a gap between West and Ham people. please use it. If lots of fans walking around Brighton, and there were Brighton fans, which was bizarre. Well, everybody that lives in Brighton's probably or a vegan. It was funny to walk outside the train station and think you'd walked back into Frankfurt with all the down and out people dossing, but all without the drugs. Just lost my spot. Yeah. He said he had a few beers in the Wetherspoons. Back on the train early. It's a long one, people. Bear with me. Get up to Brighton. What a journey. The normal chaos at the station.
Yeah.
With single line traffic to walk you onto the train with West Ham singing loud and proud.
They were.
Inside the stadium, it was nice to get inside. Unlike the usual, they hadn't dressed the away end in West Ham colours. But a nice tribute to Noble. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah, we
right.
talked about it with George Paris. And
first half was a good atmosphere. The scores coming from everyone around ground, keeping us up to date. With Palace scoring first, followed by us scoring, was a party atmosphere. Is that right, Sean?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
good. Surprising to see every single Brighton fan sitting down, whereas we all stood, even though they supply you with Palace. Well, there's a reason why they sit down, Dodds, but I don't think we're allowed to mention it anymore.
Oh, careful.
Also, not too sure all the girls in the crowd could understand why West Ham was singing "Does your boyfriend know you're here?"
They weren't
Only
singing
joking,
that,
he says.
No one was singing that.
We're
Come
too
on.
clever after all the pitch invasion is to get into trouble, so didn't sing it. The game came and went. They got excited when they realised they were damaging our chances of making the Europa League. Only West Ham could have it in their hands, with Man United losing and throwing it away, and have a great day spoilt by a game of football. It was a disappointing end. Same situation we've had years ago when players didn't think it was worthy to come over and applaud the fans. Kurt Zuma just walked straight down the tunnel and Mark Noble was subdued. Oh well, it's the hope that gets you every time. Mind you, the season's been 56 games, 25,000 miles he's travelled in the UK, and 40,000 travelling in Europe has given him the best season he can remember. He says, I hope you've enjoyed the bollocks and crap I've written for you on these away days, and he thanks me for encouraging him to do so. And as always, and like Sean Whetstone in an away day ticket ballot, I've had all the luck in the world following West Ham this year. Until next season, Brady out.
Brady out.
There you go. John, do you want to read that little? That sounds likely. Do you want to give your little bit of transfer news you've just sent us?
Well, who is this guy? Do you know him? Toby
I don't know
Cutler?
him, but I know he's looking for a left-sided centre-back. So
well, that's why I've sent it, because you said he didn't want Tarkowski, because he wants a left-sided centre-back.
What's his name?
Naif Agurd.
Where's the rain?
Yeah, I can hear rain.
Listen to the...
Oh, yeah. That's right.
What?
That's not the player I thought it was, but that has happened.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
You mean we've already signed him?
Well, he's been in the country.
Yeah.
So, watch this space.
20,
I'm not an ITK, you know.
26-year-old left-sided centre-back from France.
Naif Agurd.
Naif Agurd.
Right, yeah. Yeah, so I thought we was after the Rennes striker.
And Josh Brownhill.
Yeah.
Oh, he'd be good.
But it sort of
Graham
plays...
Bailey knows his stuff usually. That's from Graham Bailey. He's usually in the know.
Well, in January, Moyes was over in France, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
So, and also Rob Newman was a lot of his dealings with the French market.
Oh, okay.
So he knew it quite well.
We're just saying, what is the point if nothing happens? What is the point?
It's really raining, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where is it really raining?
My house. It's absolutely shiting it down.
Yeah, we can hear it. We can hear it on the microphone.
Well, can you stop that out there, please? No,
get out your shed.
Yeah. Are you in your shed?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm in my shed.
All right, so he signed. There's an exclusive for you from Nigel.
Well,
Carr.
no,
He's
hold
already
up.
Signed.
Hold up. Didn't say I'd signed, did I?
There's real interest.
There's the man has been in the country.
Ooh.
That's it.
All right. Well, I know
Today.
he's looking for a left-sided centre back.
What
around
about that
age.
that Bassey from Rangers? Weren't we linked with him now? Anyone heard of that?
Fred Bassey, is it?
No, Cameron, isn't it?
Oh, was it? Oh, right.
Did everyone watch? Did anyone? Did we all watch the Europa League final?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did.
I did.
I didn't
Yeah.
do it to myself. It was on. I wasn't watching. I think I was playing.
We would have beaten Rangers comfortably, I think.
Well, yeah, but we'll keep. Everyone said, "Oh, we could have beaten the pair of them." Well, we didn't beat Frankfurt, and Frankfurt beat.
Barcelona.
Yeah, Barcelona. I don't want to stop to my tracks here. We can't keep having this superiority complex about it. You know, we are what we are now. We start again next season. There's going to be a lot of changes.
Yeah, but
that I'm
Rangers
kind of
are
looking forward
shit.
to.
I didn't want Rangers to
when
win.
when you watch that game though, I must admit it wasn't a very good quality, and
No.
I guess
No,
the
it wasn't,
occasion
no.
got to him a bit, and
Yeah.
it was.
All I would say is we could have won it. You know, in a fair wind, we could have. We
I
had
agree.
we had
And
the.
you know, I think I've been over it a million times, but who knows what would have happened if Cresswell didn't go off.
Hindsight is
If
a
they
wonderful
hadn't hadn't scored in the first 10 seconds, all that.
Yeah.
Could have been a whole different ball game.
If I coulda, woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I do think Frankfurt were
One-
worthy winners.
If
One
I
thing-
could have, would have. I'll tell you where our season changed.
Go on.
Do you know where our
Ogbonna.
season actually?
Ogbonna.
If you're going to define our season
Go on then.
and define it to one moment, which is difficult to do, but if you define it to one moment, and there's two in this game, so there's two moments where we defined it, and let's see who you blame. Right. So let's go back to
not
our
in the blame
first
game, mate.
defeat. First defeat of the season
Fabianski.
was
Yeah.
Man United.
Noble
Lingard
penalty.
scored in the 89th minute and Noble misses a penalty. Now, if Lingard don't score, or if Noble scores the penalty, we get an extra point. Man United lose 2. We're
Yeah.
in Europa League.
Yeah.
So, are we blaming Noble or not?
Oh,
Well, I have.
This is outrageous.
I've blamed him to his biggest fan, John. He didn't like that.
Oh,
He didn't
Mark
like that.
Noble. Whoa, Mark Noble.
We've all got our crosses to bear, haven't we?
You've never forgiven him through Burnley. Let it go. Let it go, Nige.
What are you talking this season?
Yeah. So this
We didn't have Lingard this season.
No,
No,
he
Lingard
scored
scored
against
against
us.
Ah, right.
He came on as
against
a
us,
sub
yeah,
in
yeah.
September.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
When
that's
Noble missed the penalty.
Oh, when Noble came on and missed the penalty.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the same. So if Lingard don't score, you
I'm
take
glad
2
he's
points
left.
off
I'm
Man
so
United.
glad.
I blame him then, Lingard.
Yeah.
Lingard.
Yeah.
But bearing in mind that Noble's event happened after Lingard, so actually Noble's
still blame
penalty.
Lingard.
Anyway, one thing we didn't mention earlier today on the news was Stuart Pearce the club have announced Stuart Pearce is leaving.
Got sacked, didn't he?
Well,
No, he's not been sacked.
Depends who you believe. I was told that he wanted to. A bit like Alan Irvine, who wanted an easier life. That he wanted to. Didn't want the pressure of it all and wanted to step down. Now that could be a smoke screen from the club. But that's what I was told.
Well, he's put out a statement.
Oh, is he? I didn't know that. There you go. So maybe
Yeah.
it's true. Go on.
Yes,
What's
you
his
did.
statement?
Yes, you did.
He's
What,
We
Stuart
talked
Pearce
about it
put
before
out
we
a
started.
No, I didn't
statement.
know there was a statement. I
Yeah,
just
that's
seen
what
the...
I quoted the statement he put out.
Oh, right. That was the club, though. The club said he wanted to pursue.
All right. Stuart Pearce said he wants to pursue other activities.
Yeah, yeah,
He's had a
but-
fantastic time at the club.
But my understanding
West Ham
is-
will always hold a special place in his heart, but now he feels it's time to go off and do something else.
In business land, pursue other career opportunities usually means you've been sacked. Right?
All right.
That's what we say when we lose a director or someone and they
Well,
compromise
he
agreement.
personally thanked David Gold, David Sullivan and Karen Brady and David Moyes.
Well, he's got to
So,
pay them.
If
He's
you've been
60
sacked,
years old. He turned 60. My understanding, what I got told,
What got to do with
he
it?
turned 60 last month on the 24th of April, right? 1962 he was born. And he
Oh, I tell you,
thanks,
you're a
Sean.
mathematician there.
I'm just
Wow.
saying, look, just hear me out, right? And reaching that age of 60, he wanted something that was a little slower pace and to enjoy time with his family.
It's called Talk Sport.
Well, maybe it is. Maybe it is just doing talk sport and not travelling around the country. 60 years old, maybe he wants to have an easier
I had a
time.
moan up about TalkSport today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was driving
Well,
on me.
don't upset you.
I was driving on my way
Don't,
back.
don't upset my customers, John. You're
On the-
worse than Nigel.
On the news headlines, were West Ham Kurt Zuma and his brother have been charged for 3 whatever counts of animal cruelty. That was the headline. And then secondly, it went on to Mendy has been charged with 9 counts of attempted rape. And I thought,
Wow.
wow, what? How have you put the guys kicking the cat, the footballers kicking the cat as the headline, and the guy being accused of rape as the second?
Outrageous.
I
Do you know what I'm surprised at? Because listening to TalkSport on the way home, obviously in between phone calls, they didn't even mention in the news. They didn't mention Mendy. They mentioned the cat kicking. You know when you think, oh, let it go.
Yeah. Did
Well,
they? This
They
was
didn't
like
mention Mendy. They mentioned Zuma was being done on his brother. His
This
brother's
was
being
about-
done on 2 counts, and Mendy,
Yeah.
what's his name? Kurt's being done on 3.
So
Yeah.
they waited to the end of the season.
But he's got the cats back, hasn't he?
Yes,
no,
yes. I thought they
they
had.
said on the news. This was about 2ish. They said on the news that no, the RSPCA have still got the cats.
Do you think
But-
they'll put
but-
the cat on the stand and see what he says? Do you think the cat will go?
Yeah, I'm reading
meow?
BBC and you're right. It says
It's on the
the
BBC, Sean. You can't
RSPC
believe that.
continues to care for the 2 cats. You're right.
Yeah, but then I genuinely couldn't believe the fact they put the cat up before the guy who's been accused of 9 counts of attempted rape.
I thought we were all over
How
it.
can you
but,
have 9 counts of attempted rape?
I don't.
His brother,
he's
you
been
know, hasn't-
accused of 9.
His brother hasn't played for
Been
Dagenham and
accused of
Redbridge
it.
since,
Don't know if it's attempted or whatever.
since January. He's not been allowed to play.
Well, no, that's not true, Sean. They lifted his suspension
Oh, he's just not played.
in March, so perhaps he's just not that good.
Well, yeah, it could be. Brighton fans, I haven't heard it lately, but Brighton fans were back with the booing every time he touched the ball. For us to go zoom, and singing, he has a magic hat and we're going to win the Europa League,
All right.
which we didn't. But there you go.
You're like a 10-year-old kid who's been to his first away game, you, haven't you?
I didn't go very often. I went with George last time to Amex. Anyway,
Nigel,
just
put a
depends
question
how-
up.
It just
I
depends
did,
how
yeah.
lucky he gets.
Yeah. Very lucky at the moment.
Oh, it seems to be.
yeah, it's Facebook Quitter question time, where you, the 8 listeners, are lucky if Nigel
9.
remembers. 9 listeners remembers if he's put a question up or not. Nigel.
I did put. The question is up. So, on Twitter, Paul Nolan texts me and says, "Thought I'd give Twitter question a go." He says, "Well decided, Mr. Nolan. Chauffeur here. Well, I know that. You don't have to tell me that because I know who you are. You text me." He says, "I see Stuart Pearce has stepped down. Do we know if he
Sacked.
was pushed or by his own
Yeah.
choice?" Well, you've
Own
just heard
choice.
it. Own choice. There you go.
Oh, is that right, Sean?
Oh,
Well, that's what I've been told.
Is it?
That's what I've been told. I've said I didn't see the thing. I've been told by the club that it was he wanted to take it easy. Now he's 60, right? But when I heard that
Take it easy, now
announcement, I
he's
didn't
60.
know if it was a smokescreen, because in the corporate world, when they say someone has left to pursue other career opportunities, it means they've been sacked. All I'm saying.
Yeah, well, there you go. Football's not corporate world, but perhaps it is.
Or
now.
is it?
Mr. Noland says, "Do we anticipate a few player signings this season?" Well, not this season because it's over, Paul. So no, I don't anticipate any. To keep pushing us in the right direction. Is there anyone you'd like to see come in? He said the final one. He said, "I've seen so many West Ham fans moaning Stop it. We
Stop
have
it.
nothing to moan about football-wise. Back-to-back European football for the first time ever. Though technically, Paul, that's not right. Because in
Still got to qualify
2015,
yet, really.
in 2015, we played Europa League qualifiers. In 2016, we played Europa League qualifiers. So
But
technically,
we still got to qualify for this.
Well,
That's
European
not
Vase,
the
I
first,
think,
the
it was.
second, or the third qualifying round. We do go straight off to the playoff rounds. We have to win one.
no,
or
yeah, but
two
we still got to
games.
play a playoff, haven't we?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we
you're,
got two
you're
big
so
games.
confident, Sean. You're already booking your ticket for the
I
final.
am. Yeah, Prague, here I come. Have you booked your tickets yet? George, Nigel.
No,
John?
no.
Well, to be honest, Sean, the rest of us haven't got that ability to book tickets that early. Obviously, you with your connections know you're going to be in the ground with only 20,000 Father fans, of which likely only 5,000 or 6,000 will be West Ham.
Yeah,
So the other
And your disposable
normal
income,
plebs,
Sean.
I
Yeah.
feel lucky.
With
know?
you and your disposable income, you know, some people can afford
Why,
it
is there
too.
something-
Cost,
going
cost
on?
of living crisis.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Should we not revisit that one, Sean?
Yeah, let's not revisit that one. Eh? Got me enough trouble last time. Petrol's gone up.
What, again?
Excellent.
It cost me. Do you know what? To fill my Land Rover, it cost me £110. £110. That's why I bought a new bike, so I can.
Oh dear.
To
Someone
fill
said
my
that to
Land
me,
Rover.
Someone else said to me they had to pay 100 odd quid to fill their motor up.
£110 of diesel to fill the Landy.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, isn't it? I thought you had an electric car.
The missus got an electric car, yeah.
Oh,
but
wow.
That's the
I've got
Mercedes,
another.
yeah?
There's Mercedes, yeah.
When you're getting your Tesla, Sean.
Oh, funny you should say that. So.
You're not getting a Tesla, are you?
I am, yeah. So it's not a car podcast, but when I give my my Land Rover's coming to the end, and I have got my heart set on a Tesla. Yeah, I have.
Because
Your
I'm
Land
going
Rover's
green.
coming
I
to
want to
an
go
end.
green.
So the car that can last for 30 years is coming to the end. What's the lifespan of your Land Rover then?
Well, this one I've got now.
Yeah.
It's 7 years old.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It's time to scrap it, Sean.
Exactly.
I'm surprised, like, driving about in it.
I know, right?
Yeah, mad.
There was a pandemic on. I didn't think it would be the dumb thing to replace it in the pandemic.
Oh, right. No, perhaps not.
Can someone take their phone away
Well,
from
it's
their
a bit
mum?
hard because I'm trying to do Twitter question time on
Oh,
my
right,
phone,
okay,
so it does
right.
mean. Anyway, Dan 31, 60, 43, 45H. We're an hour earlier. I said again yesterday we concede while Moyes is fannying about with subs stripped to go. It's happened a few times. Is he too slow to react to situations or is he stubborn? And is John tired after such a long run of successive podcast starts? Brady out.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling it a little bit. I'm glad it's the end of the season because I need a break now.
George said that. George has said he needs a rest from podcasting because
Too
he's
many podcasts.
exhausted.
3 on the trot, John. You keep the microphone.
Oh, yeah.
Next up is Canning Town Len. Brady
Oh.
out.
Brady out.
Bo
Is he?
Bells, a new one on Twitter. He says, how do yous, obviously a good listener, think the timing of the World Cup will affect, a good question, will affect our Premier League and European season, considering all our international players involved, example, Rice, Bowen, with a wink, Souček, Lanzini. What
Souček.
with
Rice
all
won't
those
be our player by the
superstars?
time the World
Neither
Cup
will
comes.
Souček.
So,
True.
say that again. Rice won't be our player.
Won't be our player by the time the
No,
World
that's
Cup comes.
what a load of old rubbish.
Bowen,
Souček won't be there. Souček will go, won't he, Sean?
There's a chance he will go, yes.
He's going as well.
Did the Czech Republic make it?
I don't think they did they?
I'm not sure if they did. I didn't think they did.
I don't think they did. But Bowen, Bowen's got to be
He's on fire,
in the squad, isn't he?
and he's shagging Danny Dyer,
Oh,
who was there with a big ring at Brighton.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
He's always in the target.
honest,
yeah.
A few people have been there before, but I mean, I didn't realise that
No,
many people.
that's an awful thing to say. Sorry.
Oh, you said it, not me.
let's just move on from that.
I have a question, right? It's not about Danny Dyer's ring. Going back to I can't remember who made the previous comment about the first time in our history having back-to-back European qualification. That's got to be considered next level, hasn't it? Let's be honest, right?
Yeah, it is.
No.
So
No,
I'll tell you because we. Sorry, John.
Yeah, but it's. I mean, I would say if we'd have beaten them, got 6th space, and gone in the Europa Cup again, possibly. But this Conference League is the even lower sort of level. I know it's still Europe and whatever. But
humour me then. Let's say we won yesterday and we did win the 6th place. That you're saying that would have been next level.
I think it possibly.
We'd still be in the same. We'd still be in the same.
For me. No, it doesn't. I'll explain later, but not for me. No.
Okay, but let's say the general consensus thinks that is right. Now, knowing what you know now, being next level, maybe doesn't really work. But I was about to ask, knowing what you know now, would you rather have Upton Park on a Saturday than what we got? But it probably doesn't work with that. It might probably work. You see, this is why I don't like this European qualification argument, because we're already sort of grading it below the UEFA Cup before we even kicked a ball. So how is that progress over?
It's progress.
It is progress.
Yeah, from where we were. Now when they bought the club, we were in a load of shite, and they made it even shiter. So, the problem is they used next level, and they left it so vague. Now next level, if you're going to say, Nigel, what's next level for West Ham? I'll say it's doing something we haven't done at Upton Park. Now, have we finished 6th in the league at Upton Park? Well, yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Not regular, granted, but we did it twice.
But we never got to a European semi-final. Yes, we did. But not for UEFA, did we? Yeah,
no,
we did.
But we
so
did
we can't say that.
Three European semi-finals while we were at Upton Park. 2 in the 60s, 1 in the 70s. We also had a European quarter-final. So until they do something that we didn't do at Upton Park, and that is finishing in the top 4, and then going on into the Champions League. That is next level. Bobbing about 6th or 7th, believe it or not. And I know it's been a long time for the younger listeners, but we did used to do that.
You see, I think this Europa Conference muddies the water a bit and is actually a little bit divisive, puts us in a divisive position. Because there's a big swathe of people, me possibly included, would rather have Upton Park on a Saturday than Conference League on a Thursday and Premier League on a Sunday at London Stadium.
Well, I would, yeah. But what I would say about people sneering quickly, people sneering at the Conference League is they removed one of our UEFA Cup spots. Yeah. So, actually, if they hadn't invented this tournament, we'd have been in the UEFA Cup. Yeah. So we still would have been in Europe. This ain't some bogey prize, that we've been awarded. If 2 years ago we would have been in the Europa League, and it's because they invented this make-weight competition, and the reason they invented it was to give lesser leagues in Europe. Yeah. The bigger teams in the lesser leagues, European competition. So if you go, we only get one spot. Yeah. If you go, I think, look at the Czech league. Look at
the Kazakhstani league.
Well, whatever.
Which is really close to China.
They'll get 2. They'll get 2 places, like possibly the Polish league. They'll get 2 in the conference, and they're using that. At the end of the day, I listened to a podcast, I think it was The Price of Football, and they said about UEFA's income, and 75% of UEFA's income comes from TV. And they want to spread their wings into all other European countries.
Funny you should say that, Nigel. I didn't do it in the news. Well, I just did. I came out of retirement to do a Europa Conference League prize money today. So if you get eliminated in the playoff round, you get 636 grand, right? If you go out in the group stage, just by going to the group stage, you get 2.5 million, right? Then for every win, it's not as much as you get 424 million, 1,141 for each draw. If you win the group stage, you get another 552,000. Then if you get to round of 32, 255,000. Get to the round of 16, it's 510. Quarter final, you get 850 grand. Get to the semi-final, 1.7. If you lose the final, you get 2.55 million. If you win the final, you get 4.25 million. If you win everything, all that together, you win it, it's about 13 million. We get another 150,000 euros for the coefficient, because we're moving the coefficient. If we have all 8 games played at the London Stadium and they're full up, I know it's a big arse, that's another 20 million. And then we get 25% of the final. And some of the pool money as well, which is 23 million. So it's not as big as Europa League, which we earned 38 million. But, it's not to be sniffed at. We could still earn maybe 25 million.
Yeah, if you look at it, and so it's a lesser tournament, and I know it, yeah? So this is like the League Cup of Europe.
Yes, it is, yeah.
Right, well, I take the League Cup all day long. I mean, if you win the League Cup, you go into the Conference League, funny enough. So I'd be more than happy. In fact, I'd prefer to win the League Cup, qualify for the Conference. But if we win this cup, we're in the Europa League. Yeah, we're back in Europa League. If you look at the way the league's gone this season, our best chance of being in the Europa League next season is probably winning that cup.
Yeah. And then we'll be in Europe for the 3rd year running. That will do our coefficient not bad.
It's going to be
something we've never done. Yeah, that's something. And that's the thing. That's something. This is where you go to Moyes. If you get us 3 years on the trot into Europe, off the back of winning something or whatever, then he's getting up there into the John Lowe and the Ron Greenwood.
Yeah,
there must be a bit. There's a bit of me that would rather not have this conference and win the FA Cup or the League Cup. I'd rather.
Oh, if I'm picking trophies, I'm picking the FA Cup first.
Yeah,
I'd rather win that than the Premier League, to be honest. So I'd rather FA Cup, Premier League, League Cup, and then it'll be the Conference League. But let's hope they've learnt from this season, and that this season is a learning curve, and they realise, right, we've got to do it a little bit different, and we'll progress. But it's still early yet. But next up is Jeremy Peter, who's Ian Gravitt in real life. Says, hello, you lovely peeps. Do you feel deflated now? Do you feel deflated?
No.
Right. He says,
you feel deflated all the time, so that doesn't count.
No, that's not true.
You're a miserable bastard.
Well, that doesn't mean to say I can't get more miserable.
All right.
Yeah.
We're not ever going to be happy, are you?
Oh, I am. I've had a nice day today.
He says, Ian goes on, we blew a chance to finish above and out Salts United. He said Malpay should have been sent off for his challenges. Souček got booked for nothing. Shamed friend didn't retire as well. I think he's talking about the ref. He then says, I remember Mr. Bucci mentioned a while ago he attended a Dorking game. Well, for the first time in the club's history, next season they're pitting their wits against such teams as Oldham, Notts County, etc. because they got promoted to the conference.
Yeah,
they did.
Was you boys happy? Because I bloody weren't.
No, I was just I had a little run of going to Corinthians and Dorking and whatever with friends and stuff. So yeah, I don't mind Dorking.
Yeah.
Well, they beat Ebbsfleet, and Ebbsfleet
did.
Was my non-league team. And I was following it on text while watching the Sunderland game. Well done, Sunderland, by the way. Great to see you back.
Yeah, it was good. That I enjoyed that.
And it come up 6 minutes of injury time. And in the 93rd minute, Ebbsfleet scored to go 2-1 up. and then I'm watching the texts, and then it goes 94th minute, 95th minute, 96th minute, 97th minute, 98th minute, 99th minute, and you're thinking, hold up a minute, what's going on here on the texts? With the last kick of the game, Dorking equalised. And then win it in extra time. But the reason why it's mad is, I then go onto the Ebbsfleet Facebook page, and fans that were there were absolutely spewing, wanting to lynch an Ebbsfleet fan.
What?
Yeah, do you know why?
No.
When Ebbsfleet scored, a couple of fans ran on the pitch, but one lit a flare and threw it on the pitch.
Right.
This caused a 3-minute delay to the restart.
Oh,
And in that 3rd minute added on, this is when Dorking got the goal. So technically, imagine being that fan.
Well done.
Dear, oh dear.
dear.
Surrey. Go Surrey.
Go Surrey, yeah.
How did the Tanners do, John? Do you know? How
No
did
idea,
Corinthians do?
I don't know. I haven't really kept up with it, Sean.
Okay.
Right, next up, it's Mark Reaper, or Kevin, as we like to call him. Well, as his mum and dad probably like to call him. And his wife, probably. And this is my partner, I should say. Take him below into account. And he's put a picture up, people. And basically, this picture is Premier League position versus wage position. So basically, City's wages are top, and they finish top. Chelsea's wage position is second, but they finish third. Man U's wage position is third. West Ham's wage position is 12th. With 129 million.
Yeah, 129 million. Yep.
So, what he says is Moyes performing a miracle with his small budget, or deliberately not spending money to lower expectations? And the summer is huge for the future of the club. Brady out.
Brady out.
His words would suggest not, would he? That he's, his anger after the game would suggest,
Yeah.
he
weren't
wants
happy,
a lot
was he?
more. No, he wasn't happy. But we covered that for people who turned up on time,
Oh, right,
Nigel.
okay. Well, some of us have to work for a living.
Don't we know it?
All right.
I hope you're not having a dig at me, Nigel.
No.
Because I don't really. And Sean kind of does.
I do.
Does he?
Yeah, I
Well,
do.
yeah, you got to give it to him.
I thought he'd retired.
Oh, yeah. Not retired.
He's got to
No.
pay for his Tesla somehow.
All right. He's going to
He's
tell you
got
off,
you.
George, for keep clicking. He
I
don't
was all right.
like
Do you know what I've just done? I went and had some dinner quickly and came
Alright.
back because it's the last.
Wow.
time
Hey.
He don't like it when you do this.
Stop it. It's just so unprofessional. Just stop it. Stop it.
Stop it.
Anyway, Sean does
Anyway.
work in between lunch meetings.
Yeah.
That's, I work hard.
I work long
Here we go.
hours.
So over to Facebook, I did put a post up on comments.
Are you joking? We haven't even done Facebook yet.
No, that was
No.
Twitter. Paul Turner says it was nice to meet up
time.
with Sean at Brighton. He's definitely lost weight. He's down
Hey,
to size
well
7.
done, Paul.
Hold up. He's down to a size 7 in shoes.
He made that joke at Brighton.
Hey up, gents. It's AR Sean. Nick Army. Brighton, he said, a very disappointing performance. Europa League was there for taking, but I'm not going to complain about Europa Conference League. Aye. Good to see him angry after game, though. The fact that Moyes only trusted 14 or 15 players caught up right with us in the end. Aye. And he has to address that for next season. Overall, a reets good season on the pitch. Truly memorable moments and an excellent 1-2 for the podcast. He then thanks me for knowing what he's talking about and the great content on 6foot2.co.uk. Thanks for the plug. Thanks to Len for all the swearing and the brilliant artwork.
Welcome.
Thanks to John for making a welcome return and calling Sean a bellend. Did you read our text, is there? That's quite funny. Thanks to George for turning up now and again.
Hey.
And of course, least and last, thanks to Shields for being the bald stooge.
My pleasure.
For me, next season has to be the same again. Europe qualification, decent run in the Conference League. Question. What's your expectations for next season?
Win Conference League. Win Conference League. Finish top 8 and get in an FA Cup final. There you go. I've said it.
That's your expectation.
That's my expectation.
So if you don't get that, you're going to be disappointed.
I'll let the FA Cup final go.
Oh, you're so kind of you.
We're not winning the Conference
League. I'll be disappointed if we don't finish top 8 and we do not get into the final of the Conference League. Yeah, I will be.
I'd like to see us do well in a cup. Which one? I mean, to be honest,
will you take the Conference League as a cup?
Well, yeah, it is a cup, essentially.
It's kind of a vase.
It's not because there's that sort of Intertoto Cup thing, kind of.
Yeah.
Should we call it a trophy?
A trophy. Let's call it a trophy.
I think it's going to be harder next season. You've got to bear in mind.
It will be harder.
I'm going to have a look at this.
If you have a look, bear in mind what Man United are going to be doing. You've got Newcastle.
Yeah, Newcastle.
What they'll be doing.
I won't spend all that. I don't think they're going to change overnight. I had a little bet with some Newcastle.
They're not going to change overnight, but what they
reckon they would. I had a £20 bet with each of them. 2 season ticket holders that I know in Surrey to travel all the way back from Surrey, and I had a £20 bet with each of them that West Ham will finish above Newcastle next season.
Yeah.
Easiest 40 quid I've ever earned.
I'm looking at the trophy now, right? They've made it smaller than the UEFA Cup.
Deliberately.
But of course it's deliberately shown. I mean, they ain't fucking run out of metal. But what I'm saying is, fuck's sake.
Oh, here you are. He's going.
Why
wind him up and just releasing.
Why is it?
Things, right? You used to have toys that you spring on a sucker and then put it down, then it just springs up all of a sudden randomly. Boing! That's you, Len. Calm.
It only seems to be when you're around, though, Sean.
I know.
Yeah.
Why is that? Look, you're going to have a break after this podcast. You won't have to hear from me for weeks.
Time.
Chris Ashton, though, says, for me, Moyes has to go. He'll reject signing players again. That's harsh.
He's got to get on with it, right? He cannot afford to go, nah, I'm not going to sign anyone if I can't sign the right players. That was in January. That was last summer. He can't do that again. Not with losing the amount of people we've lost.
Yeah, we're going to need to get at least about 6 players in, aren't we?
At least. And we've got to hit the ground running. It was you, Nigel, that said the other day, the players have got 4 weeks off, right? If we're really going to make impact, we've got to be signing players or at least getting them ready for the 1st of July in the next week or 2.
I can't see how we're going to hit the ground running after buying 6 new players.
Well, they've got to start the pre-season. That's the point I'm making, Len, that you can't just introduce them at the beginning of August. You've got to be signing them now. As John said, like Villa showed.
Well, he's starting, isn't he, with the Frenchman?
Well, I don't know.
No,
you're now pushing back.
These things. I've got to draw or paint them.
I'm not being funny. What good is your retirement? You're keep coming out of retirement if you're not getting anything back.
Well, I will. I have asked. Don't worry. I mean, I made a call, which is why I gave you the areola.
Can you not put a fiver in the meter and ask someone else then?
All right, I will. I have asked some other people.
Right.
And just for your information on that exact point, the Frenchman is confirmed.
What, signing?
No, but it's a genuine interest and it's got legs.
All right.
Let's see if
I hope he does.
Did you not believe me then when I said it?
I checked it, of course. I
right.
always ask.
So I said it, right?
Yeah.
And you don't believe it, but now you believe it.
No, it's not like that. It's not like that at all.
No, it's all right. No,
I check everything out.
Yeah,
don't take it personally.
No, I don't.
He's Moroccan.
Jesus, you two are hard work. Yous two.
He's
You
Moroccan.
towners are really hard work.
That's all the same over there, aren't they? Moroccan, French, all that. They all mix and mingle now, don't they? Anyway, next
time.
Jason Backhouse. Back to the 70s. Says, evening, gents. So it didn't quite turn out how we wanted it yesterday. Still very proud of the team, what they've achieved this season, and onwards and upwards. Big shout out to all you guys too for keeping us going throughout the season with laughs and giggles. He says, and I promise to update my profile picture over the summer so Nigel can no longer call me the man from the 70s. There you go. You got to keep that, Jay. Come on. In fact, we should all get our photos out one day of what we were like from the 70s, even though Sean's haircut's probably the same, to be fair.
I think I'll probably struggle with that one too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you would. Well, we could, yeah. Well, I won't say anything. Question. Any good West Ham book recommendations for a read by the pool during my holidays?
Oh, no, I was going to say Bowling Boy, but it's not out to November, is it?
No. West Ham related books. I don't know. Do you know? I've read so many. It's hard to pick one that was any good. Johnny the One. That's good. About Johnny Charles, who supposedly was the first black player to play for West Ham, but it turns out there was one in the 1900. Or Golden Len, about Len Golden. Days of Iron's a good one. Or The First and Last Englishman, actually. It's a good book about the boys in the 60s that won the FA Cup and European Cup Winners' Cup. So there's just a couple.
There you
go. I could go on, but I've got about 80 West Ham books. So next up, it's Paul the Colonel Sanders.
Or Karen Brady's autobiography.
Thankfully, I've not got
there's
that
not
one.
a fucking word of
I
truth
read
in
that on in Spain.
Yeah,
once.
I bet you fucking did.
Was you in it, Sean?
I wasn't in it, but it's an interesting. No. To be fair, it's an interesting book.
What's interesting about it? What do we learn about the Baroness?
Well, she was a bit of a wild child. She was a bit of a wild child and used to sneak out and like drink and do all this kind of stuff.
Time.
So I'm
anyway,
not being funny.
Talking about
where I come from, all the
on.
girls did that. So
Strong,
that's nothing.
Strong Women. Yeah, I think it's her autobiography. It's,
Move on.
Yeah.
Don't give a fuck about her.
Available in all good pound shop stores, people. In the bargain aisle, probably in the pound
other
shop.
fly swots are available.
Harsh.
Time.
You could wipe your arse with it, I suppose, if you was desperate.
Read it and then make your opinion.
I would not read her at all. I don't even read her Sun bloody column. Paul Sanders, again, evening all. Thanks for another season of excellent podcasts. John, George, Sean, as ever. Nigel and Len are the perfect antidote to the bald stooges propaganda. My question is, realistically, even if we spend, he says in brackets, net 100 million, given the money other teams like Newcastle have, do you think we can maintain the 6th, 7th, 8th in the Premier League next season?
That's a good question. And Villa as well are going to sort of be there.
Realistic expectation. Anyone want to give me a realistic expectation? Not
top half and a cup final.
But what I will say is there could be very little between 6 and 10.
Yeah.
So I think we'll get 9th next year.
Well, look at the points difference between, I think, 8th and 15th.
What was it? I didn't look.
I think it's 5 or 6 points. So, and Brighton, who finished 9th, and Crystal Palace, who I think finished 12th or 13th, there was only 3 points, like one game. So,
I mean, Wolves were tipped to go above us at one stage, but where did they finish? They went
10th.
10th, was it?
They fell away.
They fell away at the end.
And yet I think they look good all the way through their bad string of results as well.
They were unlucky against Liverpool.
Yeah,
they had chances.
They did.
At 1-1.
All the top teams are unlucky, actually.
Yeah.
Just goes to show what the pundits know, because there were at one point, when they had a couple of games in hand of us, there were people were talking about them being top 4 contenders. They didn't exactly. Their performances didn't really drop. They still looked as good as they did, and ended up coming 10th. So why they didn't put us in that top 4 bracket, I don't know. But there you go. They won't learn from it. They'll be arseholes next year as well.
Right, hold on.
But
yeah. Sorry.
Where's he gone?
No, I mean, no.
Oh.
It just there's like people arguing on WhatsApp.
Well, you've only got one job, right?
I know,
Just
but I'm on doing it off my phone, yeah, and obviously WhatsApp's going. Beep, beep,
that's
beep, beep,
annoying,
beep, beep,
isn't it?
mute them. Mute them.
Yeah, I did.
Tell the Claret and
I
Booze
did mute
people
them.
to
How do you know it's them?
Because of course it's them. If it's arguing,
Yeah.
of course it's them.
It's
Yeah,
Nick
yeah.
killing it and arguing, isn't it?
Well, look, anyway. Next up, Ian, it's the Frenchman from Guernsey. The mighty one, Mr. Ian Wiley himself. Says, hi lads, he was sad to see Stuart. Will you stop texting people? Sad to see Stuart Pearce leave. Do you guys think he's left due to the criticism from Moyes of the defence against Brighton? Cool, you're
No.
reading a lot into that,
No.
Ian.
No.
Is there a falling out?
Sacked.
Question mark. Or is he off to Forest? Question mark. I feel there's more to his departure than the club are letting on.
Yeah.
You've been listening to Sean too long, Mr. Wiley. He wishes him well, whatever the reason, and he will be missed. It was a great season. Shame we failed to take advantage against Brighton. He wants to thank us all for our efforts on the pod this season. I noticed you didn't put Brady out though, Ian. So there's
Brady
Our
out.
pleasure.
Talking of WhatsApp groups arguing, it's Nick Killington. Oh. Will us failing to qualify for the Europa League affect our transfer kitty in this window?
No.
There you go. What were your thoughts on Moyes' in-game management against Brighton? Do
Not
you
great.
agree with him waiting till 81 minutes
Too
to make
late.
changes? And what were your thoughts on the changes? Not a kitchen sink in sight. Yeah, I actually did write an article on 6foot2.co.uk. Basically, I
Did you use
say
my pictures or not?
I did use your pictures. Yeah, I credited you.
Yeah, I know. Didn't
Yeah, there you
need
go.
to.
Oh, I know. Fair's fair, you know. I don't play that game, unlike other sites. West Ham United, if you're listening, we know you listen. You can block us and you can do moan about us, but we know you listen. Anyway, this season's been excellent, continues Nick, with some great memories made. However, we have collapsed at quite a few last hurdles this season. The manager does seem to almost freeze in the big moments. He then says Moyes is a tremendous manager that will always keep us consistent and safe. But do you think we could ever get over the line and win something with Moyes at the helm?
Yes.
Best regards, Nick.
Yeah, I do.
Brady out. Enjoy your
Brady
summer.
out.
I hope we do.
Brady.
Yeah, me
I've got
too.
Got to have
hope
a little
we do.
bit of luck, but apart from that, there's no reason why we can't.
Well, look, only 2 managers in our history has ever won a trophy with West Ham. So, you know, there's a lot of people that haven't done well that are thought of quite well. So, whether he wins a trophy or not, I'm just enjoying what he's doing at the moment.
Yeah, because we're keeping the season alive.
Yeah, that's it. You know,
You can't, you know, there's some. Liverpool could have won all of them. It is us sort of, you know, saying, can we win the trophy? Which, you know, as football fans, we're entitled to hope. But the truth of the matter is, there's 2 teams, 2 of the best teams that have ever existed in our league, in the same competitions we enter. You just got to enjoy the ride and hope, don't you, really? Yeah. Both of these teams we beat this season, by the way.
Yeah, true.
How
Yeah,
about that
no
for a
top 4
basis of
team
hope?
got beaten at the London Stadium.
well,
Bet you were gutted on
technically-
Sunday, John. You know, with City scoring 3 goals in 6 minutes. Heartbreak.
Yeah, I love them. That's the other thing that cracks me up is the way, you know what cracks me up is the way
Go on.
everyone bangs on about City's oil money as if Liverpool ain't spent any money. Just cracks me
they've
up.
spent a fortune.
Yeah, it's just like.
I was listening to a thing. I think it was Talksport, and it gave them. It might have been Adrian Durham, or I don't know who was on. It was 4 o'clock anyway. And Randy Goldstein, and he did say some good things about City. In that Kevin De Bruyne, when he bought De Bruyne, was a Premier League reject that had gone to Wolfsburg. Bernardo Silva had only played like 3 or 4 games for the international. Ederson, when he bought him, the keeper, had never played for Brazil's first team. So actually, he don't go out and buy superstars. It's quite possible he buys very good players and turns them into superstars. So
Well, he has a lot of the time, but then then he went and spent 100 million on Grealish. So
yeah, but then he can go and do a deal and get Ireland. And the worst thing is, they win the title and then sign the best striker in Europe.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And no wonder Liverpool will probably gutted that what happened, because I can't see them getting a title next season.
No, it's gonna be tough.
Not with
That's
Declan
it,
at
Dan.
City as well.
Yeah, that ain't happening. Super Chrissy Mills would like to thank us all for our work this season. There's been some quality shows and a decent season. Just a shame it fell off at the end. I hope you're not talking about us. There, Chris.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
we
most
can
of them
push
were,
on
it sounded like,
yeah.
well, you did 39 shows this, and most of them was shit. There was the odd one that was
Yeah.
all right. But
Yeah, the one you weren't in.
Yeah,
Hopefully
exactly.
we can push on now, and it's all down to the owners from this point on. No excuses. He says, funny how Sean went from a budget of 180 million a few weeks ago to 100 million plus a potential 50 million Kretinsky loan.
Did I say 180?
You were sort of intimating.
No, I didn't.
Surely they
150.
won't fuck us over in their last season and do what we've all been expecting, one last stripping of assets. Brady out. I mean, that is a
Brady
thing,
out.
Sean, isn't it? I mean, they're not. And
They're selling up, aren't they?
well,
in
Sean, do you know
2023?
what? I wouldn't. And this is the thing. You keep saying no, they ain't. I'm possibly sitting on the fence, but if I was going to fall one side of the fence or the other, I'd fall on they're selling up. Why is that?
I see.
Well, health-wise, yeah.
They're not looking the best. Although, I will say, David Sullivan was out with his squeeze in Leon C having chips and pink gin by a rubbish tip.
Yeah.
He looks all right.
What? With his, do you remember when Len first drew him in? He had his slanted eyes.
Yeah.
He's actually morphed
Looks
into
like that
Len's
now,
drawing.
doesn't he? I thought he looked like my drawing.
Len drew Sullivan 5 years ago, and Sullivan now looks like Len's drawing. It's hilarious.
About
Look, he's
Quite a simple
73
drawing
years
as well.
old, and David Gold is, what, 83, 80...
Yeah, knocking on.
85. He's 85 years old.
Yeah.
And they're no spring chickens.
I wonder what that, that when that sort of tax are going to get hit with if they sell.
Mm.
Yeah, there
Wonder
is
how
nothing.
that compares to inheritance tax.
Well, it doesn't.
If they die before it.
Let me tell you now. It's so long now. There's hardly anything left. They can offset so many different things. The amount of tax they would pay is at best like 2 or 3 million quid.
But
It's
what Len's
nothing,
saying,
really.
hold up, you're missing the point here.
He's
If
totally
they were
missed
to
the point,
die
hasn't he?
while still owning the football club,
Yeah.
then little kiddies have to pay inheritance tax.
Which is probably
Well,
more than the penalty.
Well, you say that, but obviously
I do
when
say
you're
that.
that rich, you will have inheritance planning. When you really dig down to where the shares are owned, they're not all in David Gold's name, right? They happen to be. When you see David Gold in the rich list, it's David Gold and family, Vanessa and Jacqueline. When you see David Sullivan, it's David Sullivan Jr. and Jack Sullivan. They've already started this transfer of wealth, inheritance planning. There are trusts set up. So they're not stupid. They take the best advice to make sure their tax position when they die will be minimised. And
tell you
and
what,
anyone in that position would.
If I was Davey and Jack, I'd be making sure he don't put a ring on her finger.
Who?
What would you think?
Oh, what's her name?
You're saying all this, and we're already...
They're not going to marry, and if they do, they would have a prenup. Come on.
Love can do funny things. I'll tell you, I don't know what she was holding because we couldn't see in the photograph, but the looks of his
Pixton.
eyes.
Is it Amma
right. It was.
Amma Pictor Pixton? I forget her name.
Picked a pig. Did you say?
No.
Oh, right.
Look. What we should say. I know she's only 40, right? Good luck
she's broken
to them both. Good luck to them, right? As long as they're happy, they're not harming anyone. They can do what they want. It's
What's that Mrs. Merton clip I sent you the other day? Go on, play it.
No. It doesn't matter about Daniel.
So what was it you see in the billionaire David Sullivan?
Well, do you know what? As long as he's happy, he's got more money he knows what to do with. Who cares whether he's having a bit of fun, right? He's not going to give away $1 billion just because he's got a girlfriend who's 32 years younger than him. Good luck to him. If I could do that at 72, I would be doing it. And good luck to him. He's happy. He's enjoying his life. And,
Sean's after a European ticket.
He's booked his hotel flight.
Yeah.
That's it. So, yeah. Paul Cocker-Cox says, evening, gents. All right, Cocker. He says, evening, gents. And Sean. From all we've been told recently about Mark Noble's influence off the field, do you think his absence next season might affect us negatively? I think he'll be hard, if not impossible, to replace in the dressing room. That's not true, Paul, because they can always get someone else to sweep up.
Well, how about...
He's easily replaced.
How about replace Stuart Pearce? Maybe he's left to give Noble the job. No, that won't happen.
No. Maybe he's left because he
Noble
can
needs
sit
a
there
rest.
in the wings.
Noble's got his autobiography, he's got his clothing range, he's got his, I'm sure, speaking engagements. He'd do very well, and it'd take time before he gets...
To be fair, his clothing range, MN16, doesn't really have a great ring about it, does it? I'm not knocking the bloke,
You are.
But as far as a bit of
blamed
clobber
him
goes...
for the season earlier.
No. Well... I'm just pointing out direct facts. If he'd have scored that penalty, Man United had 2 less points, West Ham 1 more point. We'd be in Europa League.
Yeah.
But whose fault was it? His for missing a penalty, or David Moyes for bringing him on? Ooh, do we go there?
MN hoodie available just for £75. If you want a short sleeve polo at the club shop, is £55. A t-shirt only £50 in the Mark Noble 16 range, and a long sleeve polo just £65. Get it while stocks last.
He will be a pundit if they allow him, if they can get past the old rednaps.
Do you think you earn much money as a
Neville.
pundit? How much do you think Joe Cole earns as a pundit? It can't be that much.
Don't know. I'd like someone to take over from Carragher.
Well, look, if you're paid on ability, Colton Cole don't earn a lot.
He's always on, isn't he?
Cracks me up.
Anyway, moving on.
It's the Reverend Jonathan Lowe, dearly beloved. Thank you for keeping us all entertained and informed this season, and what a good one it's been. More ups than downs, and still the same old West Ham, which is a good thing. I'm with you, John.
Yeah.
He said, I'd like to thank Nigel for your company in 214. It's been a pleasure, John. It's always a pleasure to see you and your family. And it's great we've got ourselves a little community there now, haven't we? It's like the old days at Upton Park when we knew who we sat around. He said, likes to thank Len for his talent and making me laugh out loud when you have your grumpy moments.
Oh, you're welcome.
There you go. Thanks, Sean, for giving the rest of the gang someone to look down on. And thanks to the Bucci boys for starting it all off in the first place. You've created a wonderful community. So here's to next season. Blessings.
Wait, what's John had to do? It's George's podcast. What's John had to do with it?
Oh, I was a big part of that beginning, Sean.
Facilities manager, wasn't he?
Well, we might as well just thank Reese as well.
Well, you could
might
do.
as well.
He's still waiting at that traffic lights, and he on his way to George's.
That's right. We should get Reese on and
he should get Reese back, innit? Have a reunion.
Yeah. You could do a David Gold question time.
Well, yeah. With the stupid voices.
We'll just have to do a drunken away day live broadcast.
Yeah.
Oh, they were good.
Outside broadcast.
Outside, a drunken one. As it gets on, the day gets on.
Yeah.
Speech just gets worse and worse.
Yeah. True that.
So
Podcast.
Was there Brady out from Jonathan? There wasn't,
no,
was there?
No, he's too polite.
I'll say it for him. Brady out.
So next up, it's Dave Sexton's son. It's Ted. No, he says, just to say thanks for great Monday nights. Hope you have a good break and be rested for next season. That's it.
This is quick.
This is Ted's short, sharp, to the point, bang. George loves them ones.
Lovely.
Myrion Williams is back up. I don't know if this is Welsh or he's missed the A off of the word, but he said, Futter the Stooge was successful again in the ticket ballot. I want to thank him for sending me this week's lottery numbers. I think instead of Futter, it should have been after. Unless Futter in Wales is after.
He asked me, he said, what are the lottery numbers? So I sent them to him.
Oh, did you see the Myrion? Then
I didn't. No.
All right.
No.
Are you disappointed in the Conference League qualification?
No. Love it.
Do you believe lack of investment cost us badly?
No. John
Yes.
Not bad. I don't think it cost us.
81% of people did.
81. 81.1. Our survey says...
Big question. Do we think Dodsey can improve on his 56 games total next
Was
year?
that his total?
He needs to improve on his golf,
56
I
out
tell
of
you that.
57. Yeah.
All right,
56
Tiger Woods.
games. Yeah. Well,
He puts a lovely day out, sport by 18 holes of golf. I think he's nicked that from us, to be honest.
Oh.
He should come down here. I'll give him a game.
Yeah. We'd
We
have
should
to have a summer...
do a podcast golf day. I'll be up for that.
Yeah.
I could arrange a golf day. I do every year. Finally, Myrion says, have a great summer. As for me, I'll be spending most of next year out of the country. All right. Just like the Stooge.
He's always out of the country. He's
Thanks
Wales,
to
isn't he?
him. Oh, he says, thanks to him giving me those lucky numbers.
Oh, yes.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Dodsey says, first of all right, my handsome's how you's doing. That is a contractual part of me reading out Dodsey's there. I've done it, Dods. What's your view on the fans causing havoc when they run on the pitch? For me, I think it's okay to run on the pitch to celebrate a momentous achievement, but what goes through their minds when you win such an important game to attack the opposition players and get a ban for life? Stupidity.
Mental, isn't it?
And to jump on your own like goal posts.
Yeah,
Yeah, break them in half. I know. It's just that the problem. Well, all of that aggression towards players, I just don't understand. I also cringed maximum amounts watching Everton fans and the Everton players and Lampard dancing in the stands.
Really? I don't know, George. I think back in the day,
we never invaded the field for staying up, Nigel. I'm trying to think. We didn't.
No, we used to just invade the field.
Only on the last day.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. At Birmingham, they invaded the field when we were 3-0 down.
But do you know what? It's happening every day this week.
Yeah.
I think it's a snowball effect. They see it and they go, "I want to." It's the Instagram, and you know,
Yeah,
I blame Frankfurt.
I didn't want to say it.
Yeah,
I did not want to say it. It's
media,
the experiences and not possessions gang, which another word for them is self-centered.
Yeah.
To be honest, our generation just think they're self-centered.
we were just happy to do it. They wouldn't be seen to be doing it.
No, not be seen to be do it.
Filming yourselves.
How do you feel about Patrick Vieira?
I think fair play to him.
I think the geezer was lucky he didn't chin him.
Yeah.
Really? You think he's going to get away with that?
Oh, if he does.
He should do.
It's been put away, done today.
Oh, it has been put away.
Yeah, done.
I blame people that spend half the game on their phones filming it.
Says
Anyway.
the person who used some of
Yeah.
this footage.
Easily stopped. They just, these clubs have just got
Put
to
your
pay.
phone away, Sean. That's easily stopped.
It's easily stopped. Just got to pay for the police to be there, haven't they? You stick a line of police in front of these grounds with riot gear on, they ain't going to run past them, are they?
West Ham fans running on the pitch still leads to my best ever sayings or best exchange between the player. One of the ICF boys ran, obviously, when the ICF steamed onto the pitch to do the Birmingham City when we were 3-0 down away at Birmingham, FA Cup 1985. And as one of them runs past Frank Lampard, who was the owner of Britannia pub where the ICF was stationed, turned round, I went, "What you doing on the pitch?" And the ICF bloke went, "A damn sight better than you, Frank." I mean, you got to laugh, haven't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I do.
Anyway,
I have to paint the pitch invasion. That might be a good seller.
That will be. There'll be a few hundred that'll be up for that.
Yeah.
Sean, when will we sign someone? Because Man City, Liverpool and Villa, I didn't know this. Man City, Liverpool and Villa already have?
Or have they?
I don't know.
Well, or have they?
Do you mean have they?
Well, what?
City have got Haaland.
Right. Or have they?
Well, yeah, they have got a pre-contract that goes through on the 10th of June.
Pre-contract, thank you. So, actually, all contracts run to the 30th of June. No one signs... you call me pedantic. No one signs anyone to the 1st of
Next
July.
question, please, Nigel.
Well, I'm just saying.
Super 10 update. You want we'll do that
Sean.
at the end now of the season. I will give a top 10 for this at the end of the thing. See, because I don't know one Super 6. What does he say? He says, "Len, you've been comedy gold all season. Don't bottle that anger. Let it go. You've made a very good podcast. Fantastic." That's what he says.
Nice, yeah.
There you go.
Until
next year, it's been emotional. And Len,
yes,
Brady out.
Brady out.
Michael Levy Jr. I'll rattle through a few bit quickly. All in all, it's a good season. Let's remember where we come from. Let's hope we can retain our better players and add quality. And he wants to thank us for another brilliant season of podcast. Someone we've not heard from for a while. It's Auntie Pen.
Oh, Auntie Pen.
Auntie Pen, she's back. Would like to know your opinion as to Stuart Pearce leaving. Is he off to Forest?
Sacked.
Yeah. I think he's off to TalkSport myself. I think he wants to do more to media and where he'll be free to slag off the owners. Mark Moles says, "Are we worried about the potential monkeypox outbreak?"
No.
Not yet.
No. No, because the world is in, Britain is in meltdown because monkeypox went from 20 to 35. You think, yeah, out of 65 million people. Andrew Hall. It says, "All right, chaps, it's been a fantastic season. Just wish it could have been different if we'd signed some players, but it wasn't to be. How many players do you think we will bring in this summer?" He thinks 6 or 7 are needed. Brady out, and then he finishes it with Andrew Hall Dawkin just to rub it in for Ebbsfleet. He was there, Andrew. I know. Do you think we'll get 6 or 7 players? People, quickly, yes or no? Just yes or no?
No.
Yes.
Right, there you go. I think 5 or 6.
Yeah, I think
Jack
4 or
Rush,
5.
he's in a hurry. Evening, gents. You couldn't have picked a better game to tell the story of our season.
No, he's right.
With Stuart Pearce heading out the door, who would you like to replace him? I've seen some
James
shouts
Collins.
for Michael Carrick. There you go. James Collins. I wouldn't mind Carrick.
It's got to be someone with badges, isn't it?
Carrick.
Has Carrick got... Oh, yeah, of course he has. Yeah.
So he only managed Man United, didn't he?
Yeah.
I've got badges. What type of badges?
Two-tone.
Coaching badges.
No, I don't. West Ham badges.
Scar.
That's what I watched the other night. Check it out, people. The Story of Two-Tone. It was on BBC Two. Fantastic documentary. One thing I learnt, didn't know. Who helped manage the specials when they started?
Oh, I know the answer to this. I don't think it was. Not Don Letts, was it?
No, Pete Waterman.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Pete
is it?
Waterman was a DJ in Coventry in the 70s.
That's right, he was, yeah.
Yeah, he was in the show.
He don't get enough credit, Pete Waterman. I remember used to... No, I'm not going to say it.
Well,
I've got no fucking story.
Yeah. No.
Anyway.
I just remember where their
Check it out,
office used
John.
to be.
If you love your old Two-Tone and Scar, it was fantastic because they had Jerry Dammers on it. They had Terry Hall. They had the the one that's still
I'll dig
alive.
it out, yeah.
Out of
Was
the
it
others.
on you do BBC iPlayer? Yeah?
iPlayer.
I've
Go on
seen
iPlayer.
this.
I watched it.
Yeah.
Well, it was only made last year.
Yeah, that's
So-
when I saw it.
Oh, right. But it was about Coventry and the story of Two-Tone. And it was fantastic. Chris Ashton says, is Moyes going to get sacked because of our poor form? Or is he going to reject signing players again? I feel he needs to go and Potter needs to come in. Potter is miles ahead. I'm guessing. I mean, Chris has got a very large
wind up.
one arm that we've got our first troll. Chris, I don't know if you can tell us, but that is a big arm, Chris. I wouldn't like to stand in front of you and call you a troll, I must admit, if that's really what you look like. Hopefully I'll never find out. I've made that mistake once before. And that, I think, is... I'll just double check. The end. Oh, Palumi or Galuna.
Hey, Palumi.
Yeah, I'm getting
Gloomy.
it. It's only short. He says, hello, everyone. Sadly, it's just West Ham being West Ham, and it would have been nice to send Noble off with a win. Hopefully, they do better next season. Another short one. Do we have a strong enough mentality for high-pressure games with a lot on it, says Lee
Yes.
Pevers.
Yeah,
Doesn't
Brighton
look
away.
like it to me.
yeah, we do.
Frankfurt in
1,
your
2
own.
of them.
Exactly.
Another one says, how many players do we need? 6 or 7? We're all thinking roughly around the 6 mark.
Yeah.
5, 6 or 7. Bellwood Construction says, evening, gents. I'm gutted with the result, but on reflection, we surely have to be pleased with progress.
Cool.
Yeah.
To
do.
be in a European competition 2 years running with this squad is some achievement. How did Moyes not get nominated for manager this season? Beyond me.
What a great question to leave it on the upbeat, Nigel.
Not saying he would win it, but surely he's done to be recognised. On to next season, summer transfer window.
Radio.
Keep up the good work, chaps.
Yeah.
Brady out.
And there it is.
Right,
The end of question
yeah.
time.
Richard Kemp just says he ain't got a question, but he wants to say thank you to everyone for a great podcast. Always look forward to his Tuesday drive to work. So thanks a
Excellent.
lot.
Well, we're going to have a little break, but before we do that, and you can be looking up quickly Super 6, you know, we want to thank everybody, and I'm sure each of the presenters, I want to thank my fellow presenters who, week in, week out, I mean, we've done over 500 podcasts since the beginning. We've done 39 in season 11. We'll be back in season 12. And more importantly, we're not a podcast without our 9+ listeners. So thank you, each and every one. If you didn't listen, we wouldn't make it. Simple as that, really. John,
Hello.
do you want to say anything to our listeners?
I would like to thank everyone, especially like Len and Nigel and yourselves, who kept it going through our tricky period this year for us lot. And George's changes in lifestyles and things he had going on, and my moves. But hopefully onwards and upwards next season. Thank you everyone for listening.
George.
Yeah, house is getting a bit sentimental, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't fucking hold your breath for me.
Yeah.
Go back to John. I ain't got fuck all else to do, mate. The reason
It's not about you. George, speak.
Sorry.
Yeah, just thank you very much. Lots of podcast episodes, it would seem. Over 500 now, is it, Sean?
Over 500, yeah. Wow.
Wow. Who'd have thought it from the back of a bus on the way home from Upton Park one night?
Do you know what? I listened to episode 1 the other day just to see how bad it was.
Simon Tunhill.
I know. We should listen.
But yeah, thank you to you three, especially Nigel, Len and Sean, for keeping it going. As John said, I'll probably be around probably the same amount as I was this year, but I will be back.
Well,
next
I
year
want
in and
to
out.
hand it over to our children, and I'm sort of grooming Finley to take over to the podcast, and we need to do that for the next. Jessica needs to do that, and we need to make sure we've got the next generation. So this podcast carries on for 100 years.
Good God.
Nigel, why not? Nigel?
Could I just point out, Sean Cronin has said, no question at night, Brady out. I want to say thank you to all for the
Brady
continued efforts. Over the moon. Favourite moment of the year, and this is why Sean gets in, not because he's a legend. He said his favourite moment of the year, Nigel said, just remember, Sean, 75% of the listeners think you're a prick.
Thank you.
There
Thank
you go.
I
That
think
was
I
Sean's-
followed that up by and 75%
and presenters.
presenters.
That's
do
what
too.
he actually says. He then said,
yeah,
and then George
fuckers.
said, and presenters. Comedy gold.
Yeah. Nigel,
Yeah,
I'll just ignore you.
yeah,
Thick-skinned. I've got like alligator skin.
yeah.
Yes.
Rhino skin, I think we call it.
Go on,
Or
then.
is that
Yeah.
because you lost weight now? You're going alligator, Mr. Show Off.
Lighter than you, mate.
Yeah, in your
Oh.
dreams. Son. In your dreams. Listen, without Sean, George, and John, I wouldn't be here. And them inviting me to join. I don't know how many years ago it was. It seems like I haven't stopped podcasting since then. So
on all kinds of podcasts.
on all
as well.
different sides of podcasts.
Yeah.
So I actually,
You'll get fucking monkey, fucking measles,
Yeah.
whatever. For anyone else.
So, I'm actually, for the first year, probably looking forward to taking some time off. Not all summer, because I don't think I could shut up not talking about West Ham for that long, people. So I'm sure those that want to come back in the summer will come back. I'm sure me and Len could probably get together and do a couple of specials.
Yeah.
I'd be up for let's have a meet up.
Yeah,
I'd
I think
be
we'd
up
have
for-
to do
Yeah.
that. I
Let's,
think we've
let's
got
all
to
go
have
and sit together
In real life.
in a pub and
Yeah.
talk,
Or a shed.
record it. Yeah,
Yeah.
or a shed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, why
I've got
not?
non-alcoholic lager. There's loads of it.
Tie in with a game of golf as well.
Slimline
Do a
top.
Yeah, we
podcast
can do,
golf
yeah,
day.
we'll do
Yeah,
that,
see, all
yeah.
these plans we're not going to fulfil.
Yeah.
I mean,
Lots of
all
nice
these plans
ideas.
that we could do.
Lastly, I'll finish obviously without the people. What makes this more not palatable? What makes this such a thing is when you meet people or when people just say a little thing to you.
I'm one of your 8 listeners.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or when I'm sitting in the stadium slagging the fellow presenter off, and the person in front of you turns around and goes, "You must be Nigel."